in about an hour, and I want you all to be there to watch it. Just to this put out a great video today as well. Make sure that you check that out too. There's a ton of amazing content that's out there, but I decided to make a short video because he put out a kind of a trailer, teaser, pictures for. Okay, let's preface this right away. I am not just a movie fan. Hey there, Fuzz, but I'm a comic book fan. I have been reading since, well, I started reading when I was about 3, and I'm reading comics for as long as I can get my hands on them. And I actually really like the character of Thor. There are definitive runs when it comes to the character of Thor. I'm going to get my iPad so I can actually see your comments here. And hopefully we'll get a few people in, because I've got to dispel some stuff that's going around on the internet, and hopefully have a fun time too. We can talk about a couple things. So if you have any questions, ask me. Get ready to do that. We only have an hour. I just got to grab my iPad, and we're gonna do this video right now. Hey there, Dave. Welcome. So tonight we are talking about, because I think somebody has to talk about it, because it's driving me up the wall. We are talking about Thor. What's it called? Love and Thunder, which is going to bring the God Butcher storyline into the Thor cinematic universe. And it is going to bring the Jane Foster character into a completely different light than you've seen her before. So, first things first. I don't have a lot of hair left on my head. Just look. However, going online, hey, they're disconnected. I just mentioned your video at the beginning of here, by the way. I'm not going to, don't worry, we're not going to be crossing over. I'm actually going to be going off before you go on, so I'll be at a check out your video. This one came about because I made the stupid mistake of deciding, hey, look, there's a new Marvel movie coming out. I guess I'll read the comments section down below. Never read the comments section down below, or you're ending up where I am right now. 100% guys, he's having Brad Henderson on tonight from Vinegar Syndrome, so that big sale is coming up, and it's not too far off. You know, April is here. It's next month, so make sure you check that out. Because we have a limited time to be live. Anyway, has anybody here seen the trailer or know about the new Thor film? That's my first question. Because I want to be able to explain certain things without third one, yeah. No, actually, fourth one. The second one wasn't very good. Third one's great. A trailer or a teaser dropped. And I've been trying to stay away as much as I can, even though, here's the thing. The thing with me is, I know that things get changed in the movies a lot, but I'm a reader. And the new Thor movie, which is going to be the fourth one, and if they do this right, the best one, and that's saying something, because Ragnarok was really good. This is going to be pulling from Jason Aaron's run on Thor. So for those that don't know, there are 2 or 3 runs on Thor that are definitive, but the greatest runs on the comic book are there are two people that go that stand neck and neck for the greatest run on Thor. There's Walt Simonson, who created characters like Beta Ray Bill and characters like that, and there's Jason Aaron, who in 2014 did the Unworthy Thor storyline, and of course the God Butcher storyline. And he stayed on Thor for a while. He literally changed it up. So here's the thing. This is not a huge spoiler because it's said in the thing. Jane Foster wields the power in the in the film. Figure you might like that video drop. Jane Foster wields the power of Thor, because if it goes anything like the comics, without giving anything away, I don't want to. We'll just say Thor feels unworthy. It's one of the best comic runs that's out there. Though, we have some people online that I'm guessing either never read a comic or just want to be, you know, argumentative. We'll use a nice word. Who are upset and think that this is something that Disney did or Hollywood, or it's a big deal. It's a gigantic conspiracy. But most of those people probably didn't know that She-Hulk was around since the 1970s. So yeah. So that's been peeving me tonight. That's been getting to me. So I wanted to come on here and talk to some amazing people, some smart people, and some very cool people that I enjoy talking with. I'm actually super excited about this. Dude, so many. Well, the first Suicide Squad you can totally skip, man. The second one's actually pretty good. I won't say it like it reinvented the wheel or anything like that, but it's got a James Gunn humor. So if you like Slither and stuff like that, you're probably going to like the second one, The Suicide Squad. But if you didn't, if you're not James Gunn, you're not a Guardians of the Galaxy guy, maybe it's not your bag. But no, this is the fourth Thor film coming out, and I'm super stoked with this because the God Butcher is probably one of the greatest characters I've created for Thor. I'm just hoping that, hey there, Chris, welcome, man. You're going to like this. We're talking comic movies here. Chris is a comic guy like me, so I'm talking about Thor and the fact that people make me mad, Chris. People upset me. Before I started this video, my better half literally sat me down and said, you know, if you're going to make this video, Aaron, be nice, be good. So I'm going to do my best to do that. I'm just going to make a short, rambly video talking about some stuff and just converse with me. This is just a off-the-cuff type of thing. This is pretty much me. The God Butcher is going to be amazing, Sean. I'm so excited about that. Did you read the run, like the Unworthy Thor and the Mighty Thor? It's such a good run. I need to get that omnibus. There's 3 different covers for the Thor omnibus. So guys, the latest movie that's coming out, the Love and Thunder film, is based on Jason Aaron's run on Thor, and that just recently, as in like last week or two, came out or is coming out in an omnibus format. And if you don't have it, and you are somebody that reads comics, or you just reads in general, wants a really, really good book, and get a really quality run on the series, it's one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest modern runs, right up there with with Gotham Central, with Ed Brubaker and Greg Rucka. So for those that don't know, Gotham Central was this comic that ran for 40 issues, and it started off with Ed Brubaker and Greg Rucka kind of writing it together, and it eventually, what happened was it was about Gotham Central, Gotham, the police station, right? So it was about the characters in the police station. This is the time when Jim Gordon's shot, and he's retired. He's forced to do an early retirement. So the neat thing about the comic, though, is that it's done in a day shift and a night shift for them. And Greg Rucka wrote the day shift, like cop storylines, and Ed Brubaker wrote the night shift cop storylines. For those that are unfamiliar, Ed Brubaker is a famous novelist for crime fiction, and so a lot of his stuff comes from there. It should be really good if they go by the comic a bit. See, this is fairly cool when it comes to the comic, because we got the God Butcher, and that's really big. Something's dropped. I'm not sure what it is. See, I know because I'm one of my comic book groups. Or not one of those entertainment groups. that's attached to one of my comic book groups. They said, either it was pictures or something dropped from Thor, and maybe it's just pictures. Promo image. Maybe that's what it is. But it's flipping out people, Ryan. It's some people that haven't read comics or think that this is a new character that was made up, just now. Oh, they're doing this because whatever. They've they don't, maybe they just don't understand that this is a pre-existing character from a pre-existing storyline, but not only a storyline, one of the great storylines. So to put this into, like, say you're a DC person, this is along the lines of, if you liked Watchmen, if you liked things like the Dark Knight Returns, or if you're like a Batman Year One type person, or if you just like some of the really kind of iconic things, maybe No Man's Land's your bag, right? Or if you're me and you do like some of the new 52 stuff, like Zero Year. That's definitely one to grab. I have that one pre-ordered. That's one of the ones I'm hoping to get. See, it's the drama. It drives me up the wall because I just want people to be excited, be, and go and enjoy a film. But I know that there's going to be people that are going to twist it, and so I want to get that out of the way when there's just a picture and there's like people that are complaining. And I went on my Facebook, and I shouldn't have. I so shouldn't have. It is the first volume. For those that are unfamiliar, Mark Waid did a really an epic run on the Flash. He did and this was during the time that Wally West was the Flash. So he did something with so basically Barry Allen was the Flash at the time. Wally West was the Flash, and Wally West didn't feel that he deserved to take up the mantle of the Flash. So what happened, basically, is there's a storyline called The Return of Barry Allen, and it is one of the greats. It'll be interesting. I mean, Gore is such an unusual looking character. Exactly. Leave your politics at the door. It's a movie. I will see you soon. Well, I would definitely see you soon because I'm going to be watching, man. That's the one thing I like to say and keep about my channel is like, I want to talk about the film. I want to get you, hopefully, excited to watch film and excited to explore and look into something different. Yeah, one of my pet peeves are when people try to bring things down. And I don't care if it's like for, hey there, Jordan, welcome. If it's, if it's their politics or if they're just killjoys or something like that. It's like, come on, let people have fun with this. Gore looks like something. Well, Gore kind of looks like that. Yeah, he does. Well, yeah, right. Gore does look like that. It's going to be interesting to see. I actually did see the Sonic movie. I liked it a lot, actually. But so yeah, I only have one run on Thor in my house right now, and this is the Dan Jurgens run, right after Heroes. Heroes Return, after Heroes Reborn was done. This is really good, by the way. There's an amazing story where Thor kind of goes across to go after Thanos, and it is incredible. I'm here for a short time tonight because I do one thing I want to say and just to pimp out again, Disconnecting, a really good video. It's going to happen in around 45 minutes, and I'm going to be watching it. So hopefully after you go off from watching me, you'll get your snacks and get over and get ready to watch Disconnected and his Brad Henderson video. That's going to be super chill, super cool. I'm actually stoked to check it out myself. But I wanted to mention the Thor thing because just to say, okay, let yourself have fun with this. Don't listen to the killjoys. They haven't read a comic. They don't understand. That's all right. Hopefully they'll learn. They'll watch the movie, open up their minds, and have fun with it. And if they don't, well, they're missing out on what's probably going to be a really, really good movie, because God, the God Butcher is so cool. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, if you ever read a comic, it like that God Butcher storyline is so cool, because it leads right in to this whole thing. Moon Knight. You know, like, I haven't seen the second episode yet. I love the first one though. It's different. It's the most different of the Marvel shows that we've seen come out so far. Like WandaVision is probably the closest in kind of like a weird subverting ness that the Moon Knight. One of the things that I thought was going to piss people off, I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad people actually got into it, because it's nothing to give away here. His character's got DID. So they go into parts on the first episode of Moon Knight, and I'm guessing the second one too, where there's big action scenes which we don't see because he blanks out, and when he comes back, like the action's all over. And I'm thinking, oh God, I hope people aren't gonna like get pissed about that. Because that's it's kind of a Moon Knight thing. Like, don't worry, you get to the action of that. Exactly. So basically think of it this way. So Thor is a person. Like, that's his name. So when Jane Foster or Eric Masterson or Beta Ray Bill like wield the hammer, or some type of the mace when it comes to Thunderstrike, they're wielding like the power, or sometimes partial power, of Thor, of the Odinson, but they're not becoming Thor. They're Thor in like as a mantle place, as in like they say, if somebody came and said like, you know, because it's not like Batman. If somebody changes, like Dick Grayson can become Batman, Jason Todd can become Batman. A lot of people can put on the suit and become Batman, right? That's it's just a suit. Thor is his name. It's like it's who he is. So although when he feels unworthy, basically, of of Mjolnir, and if he feels unworthy of Mjolnir, or as I like to say it, because the film Meow Meow, then he can't wield it. But somebody that feels worthy, or is worthy, or that he deems worthy, or Odin deems worthy. Odin's dead, right? Is Odin dead? Can't. So that's where this all comes into. Basically, someone can wield the power of Thor without actually being him. And they'll just, take on kind of a mantle place of Thor, but they're not actually Thor. Thor is still Thor. He's still him. But they can like take on the temporarily take on, like, wield the power, taking the name of Thor. When Eric Masterson took over like the role of Thor after it all ended, and Thor went back to being Thor, then Eric Masterson got his own, like, he's got a mace type of thing, and I can't remember what it's called now. Maybe it was called Thunderstrike, and he became a character called Thunderstrike. So Thor isn't something where he can die off and it can be given down to somebody else. It's his character's name. Now, because there's a difference. There's the unworthy Thor. There's the mighty Thor, which would have been the Jane Foster storyline. But eventually, what usually happens is these characters either give back the power, or they become a completely different character, and they just kind of go splinter off like that. It's comics, guys, as as Drake would say, because comics. But yeah, this one here I actually picked up for like under $20 at Zavvi a few weeks back when it was on sale. Great run, John Romita Jr. Incredible stuff. But I'm not just here to talk this. I'm here to talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I just want to get that rant out first before I went any further. Hopefully, you guys saw the videos that I did today. I made 2 videos today, 3 if you're a Patreon subscriber. The Patreon one took a bit of time because I was getting basically some questions and stuff that I was asked from like previously, or some people that had mentioned things in comment sections, and had asked me, like, at the end me. I said, okay, I'm gonna do like a short video and actually answer some questions, and hopefully help people that are starting out or wanting to do like a podcast, or a YouTube channel, and they can look at the video that I did and answer some questions on how to go about it there as well. I will do a more thorough one on my Patreon later on down the road. And I did kind of give a little bit of behind the scenes more there as well. I did a called comics, my first ever comic coffee chat video, where we talked about the classic X-Men, and I did a video where I reviewed and ranked all 4 of these here Umbrella Entertainment movies. It's a cool movie, man. It definitely it is one of those that'll grow on you with multiple releases. So if you have not seen my reviewed and ranked one or my comic one, please check it out. I mean, I worked really hard on those, and I hope you guys like them. It's hard like when you're my channel and we do a lot of movie stuff, but when I do reviews, I get a lower viewership for the reviews. They take a while to get in, and even the comic ones even more. They take a while for to get the audience base to come in and actually watch them. People skip over. I think people skip over sometimes and just go to the live stuff. I'm not. I'm gonna tell you a secret right now. You're missing out. You're missing out on some really good stuff. Just saying. Just just putting that out there. Watch it. Okay. Anyway, so before I go tonight though, do you know those? Oh yes. Oh my God. I saw that was such a bad movie. See, I don't think it's going to turn off anybody that actually would have went to see the movie in the first place. I think what it comes down to, Sean, is this: people that were not going to see that movie are the people that are going to be vocal about. Hey, I'm not going to see that movie, but they were never going to see that movie. But I don't want the negativity to affect somebody that might actually have a good time, and then and not go and see it because they hear negativity ahead of time. Movies should be fun. You should be able to go in and enjoy yourself and have fun with it. Comics should be fun. Your video games, you should have fun with them. And if there is a message or isn't a message, it's up to you to take out of a film what you want. At the end of the day, nothing can be forced onto you. You're a person with a mind and free will and free thought. So enjoy what you like to enjoy. I can't tell you what to like or what not to like. I can just lead you down the path of some of the stuff that I enjoy and give you the reasoning that I like it. I'll never tell you got to like something. Like I'm excited about this movie. Does that mean you got to be excited about this film? Not at all. I mean, like you may not even be a comic book person, and that's okay if you're not. And like these movies aren't your thing. That's fine. Exactly, PlayStation. Did I ever watch 30 Rock? Yes, I did actually. Haven't seen it in years. I think I got the first season here. I got the first season of 30 Rock around the same time. I think, what was it? Sunset Strip. Remember that one? Can't only lasted a season. It was good though. With I think Bradley Whitford was on it. That came out around the same time. I got that show too. I'm a big Saturday Night Live fan. For those that don't know, 30 Rock is kind of like a comedic version, dramedy about like, and so was Sunset Strip about like the kind of the behind the scenes of Saturday Night Live, but way kind of like watered down to exactly what the actual scenes behind Saturday Night Live is, or SCTV, those type of shows, those type of, more so Saturday Night Live. Getting Nova Corps, Doctor Doom, Uncanny X-Men. Oh, that's right, Doom's coming. I didn't know Nova Corps had one coming out, or is there a graphic novel coming out? Ghostwire Tokyo. I still can't get my hands on PS5. I'm probably gonna be like you're gonna hate me for this PlayStation, but I'm probably gonna buy the Xbox Series X because I'll have to wait a year or two down the road because PlayStations just aren't available in my area like ever. But I actually walked into a store like twice in the last 2 weeks, and there was Xbox Series X, not just the S, which is around everywhere, right? But the X is has been coming around too, and I do want to upgrade because my 4K player went down, and I got some. Oh, I forgot Nova Corps was going to be moving. Do we know who's casting that yet? Except for the new season BCS. BCS. What is BCS? See, these sometimes these here abbreviations. Final season BCS. I want them both. PlayStation. It's just I can't get them both right now. I always have them both. Cinematech, welcome, man. I'm a huge Nova fan. My only Here's my issue. I know they're probably going to do the new one, but I'm a Richard Rider fan. Better Call Saul. Thank you, man. I'm behind on Better Call Saul. When I say I'm behind, I mean like first season behind. But it's one of those that I'm eventually going to watch because I also got BCD XYZ grade movies. There's no such thing as a bad movie. There you go. Have fun with that. There was an interesting like video done by Sin Masker where he talked about the worst movie he'd ever seen, and he uh, he talked about a Canadian film called Wavelength, and he's not wrong actually. It's a really horrible film, but he put it in a great way, in that the worst movie he'd ever seen shouldn't be a movie like Troll 2. It shouldn't be a movie like The Room. It shouldn't be a movie like Things. It's got to be a movie that's bad, but you're not getting anything out of it. You're not getting anything fun out of the film. I'm s- Blade. I'm so excited about Blade. Hey, Josephine, because we get Ali as Blade, right? And in the comics, to bring back Blade's daughter too, which they started to do like around 4 years ago, and then they just like canceled it. But we're finally getting that on Free Comic Book Day. So you might see sometimes here you ask like, okay, you're doing some videos, you're doing like more comic videos now. But you're still doing the other videos. Hey there, Maddie, welcome, man. Blade 2 is really good. Adam Warlock or him, right? But that's the thing. I do want to be able to cross over and do more style videos in order to take like my movie videos and my comic videos and hopefully grow them both. So if you have, say your comics aren't really your bag that much right now, I'm gonna ask you like to do me a personal favor. Just It's only usually when I do a comic video, it's only like 10 to 12 minutes long, and I put a lot of work and research into it. So if you can just like check one out, I truly really appreciate it because I'm trying to grow that portion of my. Who's your favorite? Mine's your favorite. Though that is nice, man. How can I say something now? After that, I think it's better. To be bluntly honest, I mean, it was. I think it was getting stale near the end. Like the end game was good, and like I like the Avengers films, but I think that we got into like it's been 10 years. Like there was only so far they can go in that direction. Like they really had to change things up. So when things come on like WandaVision and Moon Knight, I breathe a sigh of relief. Like I think Black Widow was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay. But I really liked Eternals. But the problem with Eternals is thank you, Vince, man. I really appreciate that because that means a lot for come from somebody that doesn't read comics now. The thing about Eternals is, and I'll say something. I think a lot of people have said this too. Eternals would have been an amazing series. Would have been an incredible like 6 episode series. But they just tried to push way too much into like a 2.5 hour film. I think everybody wants to see the new Barry. See, I don't mind the second season of Iron Fist, Sean, pretty cool. If I was going to do it, I'd probably go more. I'd lean more towards Colleen than I would Danny. And I grew up with like. You want to know how much I grew up with like with the character Danny Rand? So this was a birthday present for my mom, because Iron Fist was one of my favorite characters growing up. When you're scrawny blonde kid, and all the superheroes like Superman and Batman and all those guys have like dark hair and a chiseled jaw, you don't see a lot of blonde haired superheroes. So I felt underrepresented. So to see that there was a Captain America and there was a Danny Rand out there, it made me feel really, really excited. Well, mutants are going to come into it sooner. Hey, Mike, sooner rather than later. and I think it'll be done well. I think they'll do the X-Men well. It'll be interesting to see how they cast it. That's going to be the really intriguing thing. I've heard rumors about a storm casting. If the cast who I think they're going to cast, hey there, Antoine, welcome, man. Then, oh yeah, I'm going to be excited. I'm not sure how to cast Wolverine. That's going to be hard. I wouldn't bypass Wolverine and go to X-23 though. I think they should do Wolverine first because you have to. It's just really hard. I know it's going to be tempting to cast X-23, which is the Wolverine's daughter, basically, kind of clone daughter. If you saw the movie Logan, that remember the kid, little girl, that's X-20. She grows up, becomes X-23. Anyway, but because Hugh Jackman is such a force. Hey there, Trash, welcome, man. He was so good. Oh, I can kind of tell you. I haven't seen the movie, obviously. Nobody's seen it. But you want me to give you my guess on who Professor Xavier is going to be? I'm not going to unless you say. Just in case I'm right. I don't want to feel like I spoiled anything for anybody. But it's just an educated guess on who I think Professor Xavier is going to be. I could be wrong. Oh, sorry. Who Patrick Stewart's going to be? I just said it. Professor Xavier, actually, but not from. Well, maybe from the dimension from Fox. You don't know. Remember, Thor, Loki, brought about the multiverse. In the comics, there is a group of super powered beings, and it changes on who they are. Like I know there was, I think Namor, Mr. Fantastic, Professor X, Black Bolt, I think, called the Illuminati, and they are a group of they're good guys of kind of a super group of good guys that actually kind of maneuver things behind the scenes. So I think that's where they're going with it. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. It's not out yet, is it? If it is, I haven't seen it. But yeah, yeah. You got to see him and like yeah, Logan. At least if you haven't seen any of the X-Men movies, it's okay. But you got to see Logan. Logan's really good. It's based on the Old Man Logan like comic book, and it's a dark and it's kind of a western, kind of a modern day nihilistic western with kind of thinking like Unforgiven, where the gunslinger is kind of doing that one last thing that he may not make it out of, but he's got the code and he's got to do what he's got to do, and it's kind of what Logan is. Logan's the last really successful western that's come onto a big screen, I think. Yep, Logan would be the last big successful western. How close is it to Disconnected? I don't want to miss his video. Gots to check. Who Bruce Campbell play? Whoever he wants. He is Bruce Campbell after all. Okay, we are 24 minutes away from the Disconnected video, which I'm actually very stoked about. Yeah, he's doing this at 9:30. So I want to make sure I don't want to cross over with him. He's really he works hard on all these videos, but I really know that he's super stoked about this one, and I want to make sure as much traffic as possible goes to his channel, watches that video. So this video is twofold. This video is partially a rant on Thor and just me having a conversation video with you guys, and two, I knew Disconnect was doing a video tonight, and I did want to hopefully get the word out a bit more. So because they work hard on this stuff. I mean, Disconnect. Well, Ryan works hard on this stuff. Brian from Just the Disc works hard on these videos. Jose and Michael work amazingly hard on the stuff that they do. That's the so I like to try and promote these guys. They do incredible stuff, Eric the Asian movie enthusiast. You get like Fat Samurai guy who does incredibly good work. Um, Flip Otaku, who is like me, he's a comic dude. Eventually, I want to get some of my comic friends onto a comic like live stream where we will actually kind of talk about some stuff because I've been wanting to do one of those for a while. I just want to make sure the things I've been trying to grow up the audience enough so that if I'm talking about this stuff, whether I'm talking about the movies or the comic run, it can be entertaining enough so that if you're not involved in it, if you're not interested in like in that on its own, hopefully the banter, the conversation back and forth, and the potential arguments uh, will be uh, will be entertaining so that you'll like it anyway. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. It was nice. I was on Reddit on one of my comic book Reddits the other day, and the person on there actually, fair to remember, Full Moon High. Chances are, all great movies. Chances are, I used to love that film. I actually liked all three of those films. Full Moon High is, of course, the late Larry Cohen. I miss Larry Cohen. I really wanted to meet Larry Cohen. There's a couple, like Wes Craven I wanted to meet, George Romero I wanted to meet. Larry Cohen was another guy that I wanted to meet. I'm hoping to be able to meet like some. I mean, like I've been lucky enough so far to meet some of the greats, but there's still ones I just want to pick their mind. Uh, Tom Savini was incredibly nice. Uh, actually, most of them were nice that I met. The New Mutations too. Are you talking about the New Mutants? Do you mean the New Mutants movie? The one that was like was canceled for a while, and then they eventually brought it out, and like John Hamm was supposed to play like a Mr. Sinister, but he cut that part of the film. They did the Demon Bear storyline. I don't think we'll ever get a New Mutants 2, unfortunately. Not unless they really rework it. I will. They'll probably start over from like the beginning. For those that don't know, New Mutants was meant to be Fox's horror uh, kind of superhero hybrid, and it got reworked like several times. It was the finished version was okay, but wasn't great, unfortunately. And it's a shame because New Mutants was one of those comics and what storylines that did go into some darker places, and it did a lot of really good stuff. Hey there, hey there, Mark. Welcome, man. I'm just here for a little bit longer. Disconnected 20 minutes. We're doing a countdown almost, basically. 20 minutes. I disconnect as video starts. So I'll be over there watching Disconnected. I'm sure all of you guys will be over watching Disconnected. Brad Henderson is going to be there from Vinegar Syndrome. It's next month. Next month, guys, is a big halfway to Black Friday sale from Vincent. And I'm super, super stoked about it. Hey there, Mark. Welcome, man. We're here for where this is kind of like a pre-show to Disconnected show, which is happening really soon. Peter Van English ones, yeah, they were. Schlock, Schlock is fun. I mean, not always a great John Landis fan for certain things, but I like Schlock. Hey there, Dustin. Welcome. This is Disconnected. Consider this an unofficial pre-show. Uh, Romero, oh man, so nice. Jack Hill, David Friedman. Hey, Herschel and some more. Timing was horrible for New Mutants, and they kept reworking it too. They kept pushing it back and pushing it back, and taking John Hamm out of the film when he was such an incredible actor. And what a great choice for Mr. Sinister, by the way, because he set up so many like little things that are not going to get a payoff. It's like Amazing Spider-Man 2, right? Like that whole like New Mutants 2. New Mutants are better than Amazing Spider-Man 2. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 sets up so much that that we that just doesn't get a follow-up. Should make it I liked your Dune joke. It must have been amazing to meet Jack Hill. He's done so much that I liked. Mark, it's good to see you back, by the way. It has been too long. Are we getting new Wolverine? Yes, we definitely should be. Wolverine's an important character. Um, though I'm hoping as an as an X-Men fan for many years. Look behind all those X-Men books on my shelf. Uh, please, can we get like some focus on Storm? She's like my favorite character in X-Men, and I was totally in love with Storm when I was a kid. Well, eventually we're going to maybe next year do this whole move thing to Morocco. Uh, so that's a thing. But right now, there's some good stuff. There's some not so good stuff. But you know, tis life. Tis life. F. Murray Abraham, amazing actor. Liv Schreiber, I'm a big Liv Schreiber fan. Hopefully he was nice. Michael Pitt, Michael, I hear such he's such a genius actor, but I hear such like not as great stuff about Michael Pitt, and it's a shame because everything I see Michael Pitt in, I love him in. But and then it's always like Boardwalk Empire, right? Or Hannibal, and it always ends with like, but Michael Pitt was a bit problematic. So hopefully, you know, he's gotten over that. Yeah, well, you know, the world's been a bit crazy, a bit burning and all that type of stuff. The world's been burning, man, Mark. But move's still happening. Eventually, I got a feeling. So I packed up all my movies. They'll probably get moved before I will. They might even get moved like 6 months to a year before I do, actually. So hopefully we. Yeah, you're definitely getting Daredevil. Good luck on the move, Josephine. It's never easy, no matter how far you're moving. Um, I liked Halle Berry. I just don't think she was given enough to do. That's my problem. Which super would you like to see open a restaurant? Actually, that's a cool one. I like that. I like the question. I like those off the wall questions. Um, I don't know. See, if it was Wolverine, he kept Canadian food, right? But you know he'd have like a lot of meat, and I'm not a huge meat eater. I'm not a vegetarian. Don't get me wrong. I had a hot dog today. Um, of all the ones to see, you said Catwoman. Thank you, man. Hopefully things are going well for you, man. Favorite road trip movie? That one I can answer a bit easier, I think. Well, I love the Ben Crosby, Bob Hope things. So I'm gonna go with any of those, man. Any of those like Ben Crosby, Bob Hope movies. I love the road trip films. But you know what I'm gonna go with? Let's go with Vacation. What do we go with cigars? Well, not nowadays. Not like what's it? I don't think didn't he take Wolverine's cigar and like at one of the comics? Like when they redid like it might have been Nonbus or like a comic that he reprinted. Like Wolverine in the original Wolverine had cigar in his mouth and they took it out. Like, come on. Kind of ridiculous, but I get it. I mean, I don't agree with it. That's just you know his thing. It's not gonna nobody's gonna start smoking cigars because of fictional comic book characters smoke cigars on a cover of a book. I don't think that's gonna be a problem. All right, guys, I got to get ready. Favorite bar fight scene? Roadhouse. Thank you so much for coming in for joining me in this silly little kind of off the cuff, talking about everything type of video between movies and comic books and Thor. And for my Patreon members, I did a Q&A. I want to do another Q&A again soon. Ah, yes, you're right. Japanese restaurant is totally how we go in the future. Uh, so yeah, eventually over on Patreon, send me some questions and I'll answer them. So as long as they're good questions, don't send me like anything. No OnlyFans type questions, guys. Anywho, oh Seth Green is the voice of Hard the Duck in the in the Marvel Universe. Anyway, I'm going off right now, but this is not where your journey should end. This is the beginning of your journey. Hopefully over to check Ryan out, The Disconnected. He's doing a video right now in about like 15 minutes or 30 minutes with Brad Henderson from Vinegar Syndrome. Please make sure you check that out. He's a great guy. I have him on a lot on my channel. And I like to, especially when during Vinegar Syndrome times, and the sale is coming up. So who knows? Maybe you find out some like secrets there. See, Joker '89, better version of the chemical storyline. But I get what you mean, man. Anyway, guys, mwah, have a fantastic night. Remember this: there is a million comics. There's even more than one like character that played the role of Thor. But there's only one of you. I am Aaron. You are amazing. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Go check out Disconnected's video. Make sure you check out Ryan Sauer's podcast, Just the Disc, and his YouTube channel, and Pure Cinema. Check out Master Chaos. Check out Michael Keane. Amazing people doing great work. Get ready. Get your snacks. I'll see you over there in the chat section.